Hello guys, welcome to Scion What Ifs. So in this video, we will see what if Goku had the power of all angels combined. If you enjoy these kinds of stories, don't forget to show us some love by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. Your support means the world to us. Now, let's start the story. Chapter 1, Awakening. Goku's fist slammed into the training dummy, sending it flying across Beerus's planet with enough force to crack the strange purple soil. Sweat dripped from his forehead as he straightened up, rolling his shoulders. "Come on, Vegeta. That all you got?" Goku called out with a grin, wiping his brow. Vegeta scoffed, his arms crossed over his chest. "Please. I'm just warming up, Kakarot." 3 months had passed since the Tournament of Power. 3 months of relative peace, if you could call training with the Prince of all Scions peaceful. The universe had been saved, but Goku couldn't shake the feeling that he'd only scratched the surface of what Ultra Instinct could do. Whis stood nearby, staff in hand, watching with his usual placid smile. "Your form is improving, Goku. Though you're still thinking too much." Yeah. Goku stretched, cracking his neck. "That's what you always say." The air suddenly shifted. A strange pressure descended on them, like gravity multiplied tenfold. Whis' smile vanished, replaced by something Goku had never seen before, genuine alarm. "Something's wrong," Whis whispered, his voice tight. His staff clattered to the ground. Beerus appeared from his nap spot, ears twitching. "Whis? What's happening?" The angel didn't answer. Instead, he collapsed to his knees, blue skin turning pale. A shimmering aura began to leak from his body like steam. "Whis!" Goku rushed toward him, but stopped short when the angel raised a trembling hand. "Stay back," Whis gasped. "Something is pulling my essence." Vegeta moved to Goku's side, eyes narrowed. "What the hell does that mean?" The sky above them fractured. Not with clouds or storm, the actual fabric of reality splintered like broken glass. Through the cracks, Goku saw glimpses of other places, other worlds. In each fragment, figures with blue skin and white hair, angels like Whis, were collapsing. "It's happening, everywhere," Whis said, his voice growing fainter. "All angels, across all universes." Streams of blinding white light began pouring from Whis' body, snaking up toward the broken sky. Similar streams flowed from the fractures, dozens, then hundreds of ribbons of pure energy converging above them. Beerus grabbed Whis' shoulders. "Fight it. That's an order from your god of destruction." Whis managed a small smile. "This is, beyond even you, Lord Beerus." The streams of light hung suspended for a moment, twisting together like a massive glowing tornado. Then, as one, they changed direction. Straight toward Goku. "Kakarot, move!" Vegeta shouted, lunging to push Goku aside. Too late. The light slammed into Goku's chest with the force of a universe collapsing. His feet left the ground as his back arched, mouth open in a silent scream. Every cell in his body felt like it was simultaneously freezing and burning. Images flashed behind his eyes, worlds he'd never seen, beings he'd never met, knowledge beyond mortal comprehension. The birth of stars, the death of galaxies, the spaces between moments, the weight of eternity. "What's happening to him?" Vegeta demanded, shielding his eyes from the blinding light. Whis, weakened but conscious, whispered, "The power had to go somewhere." Goku's hair flickered, black to silver to white to blue and back again. His skin shimmered with cosmic energy. The ground beneath him cracked, then repaired itself, then transformed into crystal before returning to soil. "Make it stop." Goku managed to shout, his voice echoing strangely, as if multiple versions of himself were speaking at once. "I can't," Whis said. "The angel's power has chosen you as its vessel." The light finally subsided, and Goku dropped to the ground on one knee. The air around him shimmered like heat waves. When he opened his eyes, they glowed with an inner light, not the silver of Ultra Instinct, but a swirling mix of colors that seemed to contain entire galaxies. Goku? Beerus approached cautiously, for once looking uncertain. Goku stared at his hands. They looked the same but felt different, like they could reshape reality with a thought. He stood slowly, and the motion caused a ripple through time itself. For a split second, he saw afterimages of himself in different positions, as if he existed in multiple moments simultaneously. This is... Goku tried to find words. Whoa. Just, whoa. Vegeta stepped forward. Kakarot, are you still you? Goku looked at his rival and friend, and suddenly he could see everything, Vegeta's past, present, possible futures, the atomic structure of his body, the rhythm of his thoughts, the exact power level down to decimal points. It was overwhelming. Yeah, Goku managed, forcing himself to focus only on the present moment. I think so. But there's so much stuff in my head now. A small crater formed under his feet as energy pulsed unconsciously from his body. With a startled yelp, Goku floated upward, except he wasn't flying like normal. Gravity simply stopped affecting him. Careful, Whis warned, leaning on his staff as Beerus helped him up. Angel powers respond to thought. If you think about rising, you rise. Goku nodded, concentrating on floating back down. Instead, he disappeared entirely and reappeared 10 feet away. Oops. Sorry. Vegeta's fists clenched. So he just gets all this power dropped in his lap. Typical. Not just power, Whis said quietly. Knowledge. Responsibility. The entire angel network has somehow transferred to Goku. This has never happened before. Beerus growled. Fix it, Whis. I cannot, Whis said, his voice lacking its usual melodic quality. My powers are gone. I am mortal, for lack of a better term. The implications hit Goku like a spirit bomb. Wait, if you don't have angel powers anymore, who's gonna look after Beerus? Who's gonna keep the universe running? Who's gonna make those awesome dinners? Despite everything, Vegeta snorted. Whis smiled weakly. Those duties now fall to you, Goku. Me? Goku pointed at himself, accidentally causing flowers to sprout from the ground where he pointed. But I don't know the first thing about being an angel. On the contrary, Whis replied, you now know everything about being an angel. The knowledge of all angels across all universes is within you. You merely need to access it. As if triggered by Whis's words, information flooded Goku's consciousness. Star charts. Divine protocols. The proper etiquette when addressing the Omni King. How to reverse time. How to create matter from nothing. The names of every god of destruction since the beginning of time. Goku grabbed his head. It's too much. Focus on me, Vegeta commanded, stepping directly in front of Goku. Ignore everything else. You're still a Saiyan warrior. Act like it. Goku latched onto Vegeta's familiar scowling face, using it as an anchor against the tide of cosmic knowledge threatening to drown him. Slowly, the information receded to a manageable background hum. Thanks, Vegeta, Goku said, straightening. That helps. Don't get used to it, Vegeta muttered, but there was concern beneath his gruff exterior. The ground suddenly trembled. Not just the ground, space itself shuddered like a plucked string. What now? Beerus demanded. Whis's eyes widened. The balance is disturbed. Without angels maintaining cosmic equilibrium. Earth. Goku gasped, the knowledge surfacing naturally. The dimensional disruption will hit Earth first. Without thinking, Goku raised his hand. A circular window opened in the air, showing Earth from space. Another tremor hit, and Goku watched in horror as the planet's atmosphere began to ripple with strange energy. I gotta help them. Goku concentrated on teleporting, but instead of instant transmission's familiar technique, reality folded around him like origami. When it unfolded, he stood in Earth's atmosphere, directly above Capsule Corporation below. Chaos reigned. The sky had turned an unnatural purple. Cars floated off the ground. People screamed as gravity fluctuated wildly. Buildings stretched and compressed as if reality itself had become elastic. How do I fix this? Goku muttered, frantically searching through his new knowledge. There was no time to find Bulma or the others. He had to act now. Instinctively, he raised both hands. His body emitted a soft white glow as he spoke words in a language he didn't recognize but somehow understood, the language of creation itself. Energy flowed from his fingertips, spreading across the sky in a luminous web that strengthened the fabric of reality. The purple faded from the sky. Cars settled back to the ground. Buildings resumed their normal proportions. In seconds, everything returned to normal, except for the confused and frightened people below. Goku exhaled. That was close. A slow clap sounded behind him. Goku spun to find Vegeta floating there, arms crossed. Nice light show, the prince said. Whis sent me after you. Said you might need supervision while you figure things out. He might be right, Goku admitted, looking at his hands. This power, it's nothing like going Super Saiyan or even Ultra Instinct. It's like I'm connected to everything. Well, get disconnected long enough to focus. Whis says. A ripple in space interrupted Vegeta. The air 20 feet away twisted, forming a portal rimmed with crackling energy. Through it stepped three figures unlike any Goku had seen before. They appeared humanoid but stood 8 feet tall with skin that shifted colors like oil on water. Their eyes held no pupils, just swirling vortexes of light. They wore armor that seemed composed of solidified darkness. The leader fixed those disturbing eyes on Goku. The vessel, it said, its voice resonating at multiple frequencies simultaneously. We have found it. Vegeta immediately powered up to Super Saiyan Blue. Kakarot, you know these freaks? Goku frowned, searching his new knowledge. No, but, something about them feels familiar. The mortal star awakens, the second figure said, its voice like grinding metal. Our master will be pleased. Your master? Goku asked. Instead of answering, all three beings attacked simultaneously. They moved with impossible speed, even to Goku's enhanced perception. Vegeta launched into battle with a roar, but the third being swatted him away like an insect. The prince is not our concern. Only the vessel matters. The leader reached for Goku with hands that elongated into razor-sharp talons. Acting on instinct, Goku didn't dodge, he stopped time. Everything froze. The attackers hung suspended mid-lunge. Vegeta paused in his trajectory back toward the battle. Even the clouds stood perfectly still. Only Goku could move, his body surrounded by a gentle white aura. Okay, that's pretty cool, Goku muttered, stepping away from his attackers. He studied them carefully. Their energy signatures were unlike anything he'd encountered, older than the gods of destruction, different from the angels, but somehow connected to both. Knowledge bubbled up from his subconscious. These were void walkers, servants of something ancient that predated the current cosmic order. Time resumed its flow as Goku's concentration slipped. The attackers stumbled forward, finding their target gone. Behind you, Goku called out. They whirled, eyes flashing with surprise. You shouldn't be able to control temporal manipulation so soon, the leader hissed. Goku shrugged. I'm a quick learner. The Void Walkers regrouped, floating in a triangle formation. Energy gathered between them, forming a pulsing black sphere. The vessel must be emptied, they chanted in unison. The power must return to the rightful heir. The sphere launched toward Goku, expanding rapidly. Vegeta flew at it from the side, firing a barrage of ki blasts that dissipated harmlessly against its surface. Kakarot. Vegeta shouted. Don't let that thing touch you. Goku didn't move. Something deep within his new knowledge told him exactly what to do. He extended one hand, palm outward. When the sphere was inches from contact, he spoke a single word in the language of angels. The sphere inverted, collapsing into itself until it vanished with a sound like a thunderclap. The Void Walkers recoiled. Impossible, the leader gasped. You cannot have mastered the reversal already. Goku smiled. Like I said, quick learner. He raised his hand again, and this time raw creation energy gathered in his palm, the same essence that angels used to build stars and planets. It coalesced into a brilliant white sphere that hummed with power. Last chance to tell me who sent you, Goku said, his voice firm but not threatening. The Void Walkers exchanged glances. Then, to Goku's surprise, they laughed, a discordant sound that hurt his ears. You will know soon enough, the leader said. The first angel comes for what is his. Before Goku could respond, the three beings dissolved into shadows that sank into the ground and vanished. Vegeta landed beside Goku, powering down. What the hell was that about? And what's a first angel? Goku's brow furrowed as he searched through his new knowledge. I don't know. There's something blocked. Like the angels collectively decided to forget something. That's convenient, Vegeta muttered. A wave of dizziness suddenly hit Goku. The energy sphere in his hand winked out as he stumbled, nearly falling from the sky. Vegeta grabbed his arm. What's wrong now? Too much at once, Goku gasped. Images flooded his mind, memories that weren't his own. Angels watching over infant universes. The creation of the first gods of destruction. A figure with 12 wings standing before twin thrones where the Omni King sat. And beneath it all, a presence stirring from ancient slumber, reaching out through the cracks in reality. We need to get back to Beerus's planet, Goku managed, fighting through the mental assault. Something big is coming, Vegeta. Something even the angels feared. Before Vegeta could respond, space folded around them again as Goku instinctively transported them back to the God of Destruction's realm. They materialized in the midst of chaos. Dozens of gods of destruction had gathered, arguing loudly while a weakened Whis tried to maintain order. Beerus stood on a rock formation, shouting over the din. Quiet, the cat god roared. Or I'll destroy every last one of you. The gods fell silent, though the tension remained palpable. Beerus spotted Goku and Vegeta. Finally. Get over here, Goku. These idiots want explanations. Goku approached uncertainly, aware of the gods' suspicious glares. He recognized them from the Tournament of Power, Belmod, Kampa, Laquire, and others from across the universes. Without their angel attendants, they looked somehow diminished, though no less dangerous. Is it true? Belmod demanded. You've absorbed the power of all angels. I didn't do it on purpose, Goku protested, raising his hands. Kampa, Beerus's rotund twin brother, snorted. Convenient excuse. For all we know, you planned this. Don't be ridiculous, Beerus snapped. Goku's not smart enough to plan something like this. Hey! Goku objected. Whis intervened, his voice lacking its usual melodic quality but still commanding attention. No one is to blame. This is unprecedented, but not unexplained. All eyes turned to the former angel. The Grand Minister contacted me briefly before my transformation, Whis continued. A prophecy has activated, one as old as creation itself. The mortal star shall burn when the first returns. The first? Vegeta asked. Those creatures that attacked us mentioned a first angel. A ripple of concern passed through the gathered gods. You were attacked? Whis asked sharply. Goku nodded. 3 beings called Void Walkers. They said the vessel must be emptied, and that the first angel comes for what is his. The gods exchanged alarmed looks. Whis's face paled. Then it's worse than I feared, Whis said softly. The prophecy is further along than we realized. Beerus growled impatiently. Stop being cryptic, Whis. What prophecy? Who is this, first? Whis closed his eyes. Before the current cosmic order, before the Omni-Kings established the multiverse as you know it, there was the original creation. The first angels were born then, 12 in total. 11 serve still as the Grand Minister and his highest advisors. And the 12th? Goku asked, though something in his new knowledge already whispered the answer. The 12th wanted more than service, Whis said grimly. He believed angels should rule, not serve. When he moved against the Omni-Kings, the other 11 sealed him away in the void between worlds. His name was erased from angel memory, but the prophecy remained, a warning that one day he might return. Aeon, Goku said suddenly, the name rising unbidden to his lips. The moment he spoke it, pain lanced through his head, and he staggered. Whis looked startled. How did you, the memories, Goku gasped. They're trying to surface, but something's fighting them. The seal on his name is breaking, Whis murmured. If you can remember him, then he is already gaining strength. Kampa threw his hands up. Great! An ancient evil angel is waking up, and the only thing standing between him and total cosmic destruction is a scion who can barely control his new powers. We're doomed. I don't see you offering any solutions, brother, Beerus snapped. The gods devolved into arguing again. Goku closed his eyes, trying to block out the noise. The knowledge within him was vast but fragmented, like trying to complete a puzzle with missing pieces. One thing was clear, he needed to master these powers quickly. Enough! Goku shouted, his voice amplified by angelic energy. The gods fell silent, staring in shock as a white aura flickered around Goku's body. Fighting each other won't solve anything, Goku continued. If this Aeon guy is coming back, we need to work together. And who put you in charge? Belmod challenged. Goku met his gaze steadily. No one. But right now, I'm the only one who can access angel powers. That means I'm the only one who might understand what we're up against. To everyone's surprise, Vegeta stepped forward. Kakarote's right. Save your squabbling for after we've dealt with this threat. The gods looked to Whis, who nodded. Goku needs training, not in power, but in control and knowledge. And we need to prepare for Aeon's return. Fine, Beerus decided. The other gods will return to their universes and watch for signs of these void walkers or any other disturbances. Goku stays here to train with Whis. How exactly is Whis supposed to train him without powers? Kampa asked skeptically. Whis smiled faintly. I still have my knowledge, brother of Lord Beerus. And sometimes, that's more valuable than power. The gods dispersed, opening dimensional pathways without their angel's assistance, a testament to their own divine abilities. Soon, only Beerus, Whis, Goku, and Vegeta remained. So, Goku said, clapping his hands together. Where do we start? With the basics, Whis replied. You must learn to separate angelic knowledge from angelic power. Knowledge without control is dangerous. And what about Earth? Vegeta demanded. If these Void Walkers attacked once, they'll attack again. Goku's face grew serious. You're right. I need to warn everyone. Not yet, Whis cautioned. First, you must gain enough control to ensure you don't accidentally unmake reality when you sneeze. As if on cue, Goku felt a familiar tickle in his nose. His eyes widened in panic. Ah. Everyone dived for cover. Achoo! The sneeze echoed across Beerus's planet. When the dust settled, they found themselves surrounded by a forest that hadn't been there before, trees with luminescent leaves and trunks of crystal. Goku rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. Oops. This, Beerus growled, plucking a glowing leaf from his ear, is going to be a long day. Training began immediately. Whis, though powerless, proved an exacting teacher. They started with the simplest of angel abilities, controlling presence in space-time. An angel exists in perfect harmony with their surroundings, Whis explained as they sat cross-legged in a clearing. You must feel every atom, every energy flow, and become one with it all. Goku closed his eyes, trying to follow the instructions. Immediately, his awareness expanded outward like a tidal wave, the planet, the solar system, the galaxy, the universe, and beyond. The sensation was overwhelming. Too much. Goku gasped, his eyes flying open. The ground around him had turned to liquid before re-solidifying. Focus smaller, Whis instructed patiently. Just this clearing. Just this moment. Goku tried again, this time keeping his awareness contained. He felt the grass beneath him, the air around him, the subtle energy fields that connected all things. Good, Whis said. Now, try to move without moving. What does that even mean? Goku asked. An angel doesn't travel through space, space moves around the angel. Think of where you want to be, and let reality fold to accommodate you. Goku pictured a spot 10 feet away. Instead of using instant transmission, he imagined the space between points collapsing like folded paper. With a soft displacement of air, he vanished and reappeared exactly where he'd envisioned. I did it! Goku exclaimed, jumping up excitedly. His celebration caused a burst of creation energy that transformed the clearing's flowers into tiny singing birds that immediately flew in formation, spelling out, "Congratulations," in the air. Vegeta, watching from nearby, rolled his eyes. Show off. The training continued through what felt like days, though time on Beerus's planet flowed differently. Goku learned to separate his consciousness from the overwhelming angel knowledge, accessing it in controlled bursts rather than drowning in it. Physical control proved more challenging. Every emotion caused reality ripples, anger made the ground shake, happiness created spontaneous blooms of energy, and laughter literally lightened gravity. You must maintain balance, Whis stressed repeatedly. An angel is neither emotional nor emotionless, they exist in perfect equilibrium. But that's not who I am, Goku protested after accidentally creating a small moon during a moment of frustration. I've always fought with my emotions. And that's precisely why the powers chose you, Whis replied cryptically. But until you master them, your emotions are dangerous. During a brief rest, Vegeta approached Goku with his usual scowl. You're thinking too much, Kakarot. That's a first, Goku laughed. Usually people tell me I don't think enough. You're trying to be an angel. Stop it. Goku blinked. But the powers are just powers, Vegeta interrupted. Like Super Saiyan. Like Ultra Instinct. They're tools, not identity. You're still Kakarot, still a Saiyan warrior. Something clicked in Goku's mind. He'd been approaching this all wrong, trying to become what the angels were rather than incorporating their abilities into who he already was. Thanks, Vegeta, Goku said sincerely. Vegeta huffed. Don't get sentimental. I just want a decent opponent when this is all over. The next training session showed marked improvement. Goku stopped fighting the power and started working with it, letting his Saiyan instincts guide his use of angel abilities. Much better, Whis approved as Goku successfully manipulated matter, creating a perfect replica of the Supreme Kai's planet floating above his palm. You're finding your balance. Beerus, who had been napping nearby, suddenly sat up, ears twitching. Something's coming. The air split open. Not a controlled portal like the gods used, but a jagged tear in reality itself. Through it poured a dozen void walkers, led by a larger figure whose body seemed composed of shifting shadows. The vessel has grown stronger, the shadow figure announced, its voice resonating painfully in their minds. Our master will be pleased. Goku stepped forward, his white aura flaring. If your master wants to talk, he can come himself instead of sending flunkies. The shadow figure laughed. He would, vessel, but you still hold the key to his prison. We have come to extract it. With blinding speed, the Void Walkers attacked. They moved differently than before, more coordinated, more powerful. Vegeta and Beerus leaped into battle without hesitation, while Whis pulled back, unable to fight without his powers. Goku faced the shadow figure directly. It moved like smoke, impossible to grasp or hit with physical attacks. When Goku launched a ki blast, the energy simply passed through its body. Conventional attacks are useless against a Void Sentinel, the figure taunted. We exist between realities. Knowledge surfaced in Goku's mind, not angel memories this time, but something deeper, something primal. Without thinking, he shifted his perception, viewing not just physical reality but the spaces between dimensions. The shadow figure solidified in his vision, revealing its true form, a twisted creature with too many limbs and a face covered in eyes. "There you are," Goku said. The sentinel hesitated. "You shouldn't be able to see." Goku didn't let it finish. He thrust his hand forward, fingers spread wide. Space bent around the creature, compressing reality itself. The sentinel shrieked as its body was forced to fully materialize. "Now you're fighting in my realm," Goku said, dropping into a fighting stance. The sentinel snarled and lunged. Its speed was still impressive, but now Goku could track it. He dodged the first strike and countered with a punch empowered by both ki and angelic energy. The impact sent shockwaves across Beerus's planet. The sentinel flew backward, crashing through several rock formations before catching itself. Its body flickered, struggling to maintain coherence. Meanwhile, Vegeta and Beerus fought back-to-back against the Void Walkers. Despite their god-level powers, they were gradually being overwhelmed by sheer numbers. "Anytime you want to help, Kakarot," Vegeta shouted as he blasted two attackers away. Goku needed to end this quickly. Drawing on his new knowledge, he raised both hands toward the sky. Reality parted like a curtain, revealing the cosmic tapestry beyond. With a gesture, he pulled a thread of pure creation energy and shaped it into a sphere of blinding white light. "This ends now," Goku declared, compressing the sphere to the size of a marble. He flicked it toward the sentinel. The tiny sphere expanded explosively on contact, engulfing not just the sentinel but all the Void Walkers in divine light. They didn't scream, they simply ceased to exist, erased from reality itself. When the light faded, only the original shadow figure remained, its form badly destabilized. "What did you do?" it gasped. "I sent them home," Goku said simply. "Back to the void. You cannot stop what's coming." The sentinel's form began to disintegrate. "Aeon has waited, an eternity. The mortal star is just the beginning." With those ominous words, the sentinel collapsed into nothingness, leaving only a faint smudge on the ground. Silence fell over the battlefield. Vegeta and Beerus approached cautiously. "What was that technique?" Beerus demanded. "Even I couldn't follow it." Goku looked at his hands. "I don't know exactly. It felt like unmaking, rather than destroying. Sending them back to raw potential." "Whis?" Beerus turned to his former attendant. Whis's expression was grave. "That was the reversion of being, one of the highest angel techniques. Even I could only perform it partially." "See?" Goku grinned. "Told you I'm a fast learner." But his smile faded as the implications sank in. He'd just unmade sentient beings, erased them from existence more completely than even Zeno typically did. The power was exhilarating and terrifying in equal measure. Worse, he'd enjoyed using it. "We need to go to Earth," Goku said abruptly. "These attacks will keep coming. I need to warn everyone and make sure they're protected." Whis nodded. "Your control has improved enough. But be careful, your power will be harder to manage in emotional situations." "I'll go with him," Vegeta volunteered. "Someone needs to keep him from turning the planet inside out if he gets excited." Beerus yawned. Fine. I'll contact the other gods and update them. This attack proves Aeon is getting stronger. Goku concentrated, picturing Capsule Corporation's grounds. Space folded around him and Vegeta, and in an instant, they stood on Earth. They'd arrived in the middle of a Bulma's birthday party, a smaller gathering than her usual extravaganzas, but still filled with familiar faces. Krillin, 18, Gohan, Piccolo, and others froze mid-celebration, staring at the sudden arrival. "Dad!" Gohan exclaimed, rushing forward. He stopped short, his eyes widening as he sensed the change in his father. What happened to you?" Before Goku could answer, Chi-Chi pushed through the crowd. "Goku! Where have you been?" "It's been 3 days and," she faltered as she got a closer look at her husband. Goku still appeared physically the same, but there was something different in his eyes, something ancient and powerful that hadn't been there before. "Hi, Chi-Chi," Goku said with an awkward wave. "Sorry I'm late. I kind of got all the Angel's powers by accident." The gathered Z fighters stared in stunned silence. Then everyone started talking at once. "Quiet!" Vegeta roared, silencing the chaos. "Thanks," Goku said. He took a deep breath. "I'll explain everything, but first, we're all in danger. There's an ancient being called Aeon who's trying to break free from imprisonment, and he's sending his servants after me." "After you specifically?" Bulma asked, arms crossed. "Why am I not surprised?" "Because the powers chose me as their vessel," Goku explained. "And apparently I'm now something called the Mortal Star, whatever that means." Piccolo stepped forward, his expression serious as always. "I've heard that term in ancient Namekian legends. A mortal who would carry divine light when darkness threatens the gods themselves." "That tracks," Vegeta muttered. Goku quickly recounted everything that had happened, the cosmic disturbance, absorbing the Angel's powers, the attacks by Void Walkers, and the prophecy about Aeon's return. "So you're basically a god now?" Krillin asked, wide-eyed. "No, I'm still me," Goku insisted. "Just with extras." To demonstrate, he casually lifted a finger. The punch bowl rose into the air, the liquid separating into multicolored droplets that formed a miniature solar system before settling back into the bowl without spilling a drop. "Show off," Vegeta muttered again. Chi-Chi approached cautiously. "Goku, are you okay?" The genuine concern in her voice touched something in Goku that the angel powers couldn't change, his love for his family. He stepped forward and took her hands. "I'm still me, Chi-Chi, promise. Just trying to figure all this out." The moment was interrupted when the sky darkened suddenly. Not the darkness of night or storm clouds, reality itself seemed to dim, as if light was being drained from the world. Goku's head snapped up. "They're coming again." This time, the tear in reality was massive, a gaping wound in the sky above West City. Citizens pointed and screamed as shadows poured through the opening. "Vegeta," Goku said sharply. "Get everyone to safety." "Don't order me around, Kakarot," Vegeta snapped, but he was already moving, directing the Z fighters to evacuate civilians. Goku rose into the air, white aura blazing around him. The knowledge within him recognized this attack as something different, not just Void Walkers, but a coordinated assault meant to weaken the barriers between dimensions. Aeon was testing the defenses of his prison. Hundreds of shadow creatures swarmed from the portal, ranging from tiny bat-like entities to massive behemoths that dwarfed buildings. They didn't attack immediately but began arranging themselves in a complex pattern across the sky. A summoning array, Goku realized, accessing angel knowledge. If completed, it would create a stable pathway for something much larger to come through. He needed to act fast. Drawing on his new powers, Goku traced a complex symbol in the air. Reality solidified around the gesture, forming a glowing sigil that pulsed with divine energy. "By my authority as vessel of the angelic host," Goku intoned, the words coming naturally, "I seal this breach." The sigil flashed and expanded, racing toward the tear in reality. Shadow creatures screeched as the divine light touched them, dissolving into motes of darkness. But the tear didn't close. Instead, it pulsed, growing larger. A deep, resonant laugh echoed from within. "Authority?" a voice asked, ancient and amused. "You have power, little star, but no authority. That belongs to me alone." A figure began to materialize at the center of the tear, taller than any void walker, with 12 shadowy wings spread wide. Its face remained obscured, but Goku could feel its gaze fixed directly on him. "Aeon," Goku whispered, the name sending a jolt of pain through his mind. "You know me," the figure said, satisfaction evident in its voice. "The memories are breaking through. Good. You will need them when you become my vessel instead of theirs." Goku's fists clenched. "I'm nobody's vessel. These powers chose me." "Did they?" Aeon's laugh was like breaking glass. "Or did I guide them to you? The perfect container, pure of heart, unlimited potential, and just naive enough to be manipulated." The accusation struck deeper than Goku expected. Had he been played? Was he inadvertently helping Aeon escape? "Don't listen to him," Kakarot. Vegeta shouted from below. Aeon's attention shifted. The prince. Always the supporting character, never the hero. How frustrating that must be. "Save your mind games," Vegeta snarled. "We've faced worse than you." "Have you?" Aeon seemed amused. "I doubt that very much." With a casual gesture, Aeon sent a pulse of energy toward Earth. Goku intercepted it, throwing up a barrier of angel power. The energies collided with a thunderous boom, sending shockwaves across the city. "Impressive," Aeon acknowledged. "You learn quickly for a mortal. But you've barely scratched the surface of what those powers can do." Goku gritted his teeth, maintaining the barrier as Aeon increased the pressure. Sweat beaded on his forehead. Despite having the combined power of all angels, he was struggling against just a projection of Aeon's power. "You can feel it, can't you?" Aeon pressed. "The difference between us. You wield angel power. I am angel power in its purest form. Then why do you need me?" Goku challenged. Aeon's form flickered. "Clever question. My prison weakens, but not quickly enough. The powers you hold are the key to breaking the final seal." "Not gonna happen," Goku declared. Gathering his strength, Goku pushed back against Aeon's energy. He drew deeply on the angel powers, feeling them respond to his determination. His aura shifted from white to a brilliant silver gold reminiscent of Ultra Instinct but more radiant. "Ultra Divine Instinct," Piccolo murmured from below, giving name to what they were witnessing. Goku's hair lengthened slightly and took on the same silver-gold hue. Symbols appeared on his skin, not the markings of Ultra Instinct but ancient runes that pulsed with cosmic power. "Impossible," Aeon hissed, his amusement vanishing. "You cannot have achieved synthesis so quickly." With a shout, Goku thrust both hands forward. A beam of concentrated creation energy erupted from his palms, striking Aeon's partial manifestation directly. The ancient entity shrieked, not in pain but in fury. The dimensional tear began to close, the edges sealing as Goku's power forced it shut. "This changes nothing." Aeon's voice boomed as his form dissipated. "I will return, mortal star. And next time, I will take what is mine." With a final pulse of dark energy, the tear sealed completely. The sky cleared, returning to its normal blue. The shadows had vanished, leaving behind only confused citizens and property damage. Goku descended slowly, the brilliant aura fading. The symbols on his skin dimmed but didn't disappear entirely, now appearing like faint silver tattoos. His friends and family approached cautiously. "Dad?" Gohan asked. "What was that form?" Goku looked at his hands, where the symbols still glowed faintly. "I'm not sure. It felt like ultra instinct, but, more. Like I was tapping directly into creation itself. Ultra divine instinct, Piccolo repeated. The perfect union of mortal fighting instinct and divine creative power. Whatever it was, Krillin said, it was amazing. You sealed that thing away like it was nothing. But Vegeta wasn't celebrating. He studied Goku with narrowed eyes. It wasn't nothing. That took everything you had, didn't it? Goku nodded, suddenly feeling exhausted. And that wasn't even really him, just a projection of his power reaching through the weakening prison. If that was just a projection, Bulma said slowly, what happens when he fully escapes? No one had an answer to that. Chi-Chi stepped forward and took Goku's arm. You need to rest. Angel powers or not, you look dead on your feet. Goku didn't argue. The confrontation with Aeon had drained him more than he wanted to admit. Using angel powers as a scion was different than being an actual angel, it consumed his own life energy to channel such cosmic forces. As the group made their way back to Capsule Corp, Vegeta fell into step beside Goku. That form, Vegeta said quietly. You enjoyed it, didn't you? Goku glanced at him, surprised by the question. What do you mean? The power. The godhood. I saw your face, Kakarot. For a moment, you weren't just using angel powers, you were embracing them. Goku wanted to deny it, but he couldn't lie to himself or to Vegeta. There had been a moment during the battle when he'd felt something beyond the thrill of fighting, a sense of rightness, of belonging, as if the powers weren't foreign at all but a part of him that had always been there, waiting to awaken. Yeah, Goku admitted softly. I did. Vegeta nodded grimly. Be careful. That's how it starts. First, you enjoy the power. Then you need it. Then you become it. Speaking from experience? Goku asked. Vegeta didn't answer, but his silence was confirmation enough. Inside Capsule Corp, Bulma had already set up monitoring equipment to track dimensional disturbances. Her scientific genius, combined with her experience dealing with supernatural threats, made her uniquely qualified to study what was happening. From what I can tell, she explained as she typed rapidly at her computer, these rifts are appearing all over Earth, not just here. They're small, most barely detectable, but they're growing. Aeon's influence is spreading, Piccolo concluded. Testing the boundaries of his prison. But what does he want? Gohan asked. Besides Goku's powers, I mean. Goku closed his eyes, searching through the angel knowledge within him. Most information about Aeon remained blocked, but fragments were breaking through, especially after their confrontation. He wants to remake everything, Goku said slowly. The original angels were created to help shape reality according to the Omni King's wishes. But Aeon believed they should be the designers, not just the tools. Sounds like a typical power-hungry villain to me, Krillin commented. Goku shook his head. It's more than that. From what I can piece together, he genuinely believed the Omni Kings were creating an imperfect multiverse, one filled with suffering and chaos. He wanted to make something perfect. Perfect how? 18 asked skeptically. A reality without conflict. Without free will, maybe. Goku frowned. The memories are still fragmented. Without conflict. Vegeta scoffed. Where's the fun in that? Despite the gravity of the situation, Goku smiled. Trust Vegeta to find the real problem with cosmic perfection, it would be boring. We need a plan, Bulma declared. First, protection for Earth. Then a way to either send these powers back to the angels or help Goku master them completely. Whis said there might be a ritual, Goku offered. To safely redistribute the powers. But he wasn't sure if it would work since this situation is unprecedented. And Aeon will try to stop any attempt to return the powers to their rightful owners, Piccolo added. Goku suddenly straightened, his expression alarming. Something's coming, he said. Something big. Before anyone could respond, multiple dimensional tiers opened simultaneously around the world. Goku could feel them all, sense the pattern they formed, a massive summoning array with Earth at its center. He's making his move, Goku realized. Aeon's trying to use Earth as an anchor point to pull himself out of the void. Without waiting for discussion, Goku teleported to the stratosphere. From there, he could see the tiers as points of darkness against the planet's surface. They were arranged in a specific pattern, a 12-pointed star with West City at its center. Accessing angel knowledge, Goku began constructing a counterarray. Streams of divine energy flowed from his hands, creating a geometric pattern of light that overlaid the dark one forming below. It was a race against time, each new tier strengthened Aeon's array, while each line of Goku's pattern reinforced reality's resistance. The strain was immense. Sweat poured down Goku's face as he worked, his body trembling with effort. This wasn't like fighting, where physical strength and technique dominated. This was pure cosmic manipulation, reshaping the fabric of reality itself. Just as he completed the pattern, a massive surge of dark energy erupted from the center tear in West City. The counter-array shuddered but held. Aeon's voice echoed across dimensions. Impressive, little star. But futile. The dark energy intensified, straining against Goku's defenses. He could feel the counter-array weakening under the onslaught. In desperation, Goku tapped into ultra-divine instinct again. The symbols reappeared on his skin, blazing with silver-gold light. Power surged through him, strengthening the counter-array. For a moment, the forces balanced, Aeon's dark energy versus Goku's divine light. Then, with a sound like the universe itself crying out in pain, both arrays shattered. The backlash sent Goku plummeting from the sky, his consciousness flickering. He crashed into a mountain miles from West City, the impact creating a crater half a mile wide. When he finally dragged himself from the rubble, he found Vegeta waiting, arms crossed. "That went well," the Saiyan Prince commented dryly. Goku coughed, dust and blood spraying from his lips. "I stopped him, for now." "At what cost?" Vegeta gestured to Goku's body. Goku looked down and was shocked by what he saw. His skin was cracked like porcelain, with divine light leaking through the fissures. The symbols that had appeared during ultra-divine instinct were burned into his flesh. "The powers are rejecting my mortal body," Goku realized. "They weren't meant to be contained like this. Can you heal yourself?" Vegeta demanded. Goku closed his eyes, focusing inward. The angel powers responded sluggishly, but gradually the cracks sealed, the light fading back beneath his skin. The symbols remained, however, permanent marks of his transformation. "We need to find a permanent solution," Goku said as he struggled to his feet. "Either I master these powers completely. Or..." Vegeta prompted. Goku met his rival's gaze steadily. "Or I die trying." The gravity of the statement hung between them. For once, Vegeta had no sarcastic comeback. "Let's get back to the others," Goku said finally. "Aeon will try again, and we need to be ready." As they flew back toward Capsule Corp, Goku couldn't shake the feeling that he was missing something important, some key piece of knowledge that would make sense of everything that was happening. The answers were inside him, buried within the angel memories, if only he could access them fully. One thing was certain, the battle had just begun. Aeon was growing stronger. The powers within Goku were becoming harder to control. And somewhere, in the space between moments, a clock was counting down to a confrontation that would reshape the multiverse forever. Chapter 2, Burden of Divinity. 3 days passed since Goku's standoff with Aeon. 3 days of silence across the multiverse, like the calm before a hurricane. But inside Goku's mind, there was no calm, only chaos. He sat cross-legged on a mountain peak miles from civilization, eyes closed, body perfectly still except for the occasional ripple of energy that caused the ground to tremble. The symbols etched into his skin glowed faintly in the pre-dawn light, pulsing in rhythm with his heartbeat. Another tremor shook the mountain as Goku wrestled with a particularly powerful memory, the creation of Universe 7, witnessed through an angel's eyes. Stars being born, planets taking shape, time itself unfolding like a flower. The beauty and enormity of it brought tears to his eyes, causing a small rain of glowing petals to materialize around him. "Get it together," he muttered, clenching his fists. The petals vanished. This was why he'd isolated himself. Every emotion triggered unintended manifestations of angel power. Excitement made objects levitate. Frustration caused time to stutter around him. Even dreams weren't safe. He'd woken twice to find his bedroom transformed into strange landscapes from across the multiverse. Chi-Chi had been surprisingly understanding, but the fear in her eyes when he accidentally turned her favorite teacup into a singing crystal bird was the last straw. Goku left that night, promising to return when he had better control. That was 2 days ago. A familiar energy signature approached from the east. Goku didn't open his eyes. "Not now, Vegeta." The Saiyan Prince landed on a boulder nearby. "Hiding up here like a hermit won't solve anything, Kakarot." "I'm not hiding. I'm training." "Could have fooled me." Vegeta crossed his arms. "Your wife thinks you've abandoned them." That hit like a punch to the gut. Goku's eyes snapped open. "That's not, I would never," the mountain rumbled dangerously. A fissure opened beneath them as reality briefly warped in response to Goku's distress. Vegeta leapt to a more stable position, eyebrow raised as if to say, "You were saying?" Goku took a deep breath, forcing calm. The fissure sealed itself. "This is exactly why I left. I'm dangerous to be around right now." "So your solution is to run away from your problems?" "Very Saiyan of you." Vegeta's voice dripped with sarcasm. "What would you have me do?" Goku shot back. "Last night I had a nightmare and accidentally created a pocket dimension. What if my family had been pulled into it?" Vegeta studied him for a moment. "You're afraid." "You're damn right I'm afraid." The outburst caused a shock wave that flattened trees for 100 yards in every direction. Goku winced. "See what I mean?" To his surprise, Vegeta chuckled. "Now that's more like it." "What's so funny?" "You." Vegeta jumped down to stand eye to eye with him. The mighty Kakarot, who's faced gods and demons without blinking, terrified of his own power. "This isn't like other power-ups," Goku protested. "I'm not just stronger, I can reshape reality with a thought." One slip, one moment of anger. He trailed off, remembering the cracks in the universe during his battle with Aeon. "You think you're the first person to struggle with destructive power?" Vegeta scoffed. "I was destroying planets while you were still learning to fly." "That's different." "Is it?" Vegeta's eyes narrowed. "When I first achieved God Ki, I could barely control it. Every attack threatened to destroy everything around me." "Did I hide in the mountains?" Goku looked away. "No. No. I trained. I adapted. I mastered it." Vegeta poked Goku hard in the chest. "You're choosing the coward's path. I'm trying to protect everyone. You're protecting yourself." Vegeta fired back. "From responsibility. From choices. From the burden of actually deciding what to do with these powers instead of just reacting to them." The accusation stung because Goku knew there was truth in it. Part of him, a growing part, didn't want to give up these powers. They felt right somehow, like they belonged with him. And that scared him more than anything. "What if I become like him?" Goku asked quietly. "Like Aeon? What if I start thinking I know better than everyone else how the universe should be?" Vegeta's expression softened almost imperceptibly. "Then I'll knock some sense into you. That's what rivals are for." Despite everything, Goku smiled. "You think you could take me now? Let's find out." Vegeta dropped into a fighting stance. "Here. Now. Goku glanced around at the fragile mountain landscape. If you're so worried about control, prove you have some. Vegeta powered up to Super Saiyan Blue, his aura bathing the mountain in sapphire light. Unless you're scared. That familiar challenge, the one that had pushed Goku beyond his limits so many times before, sparked something inside him. Not anger or fear, but determination. The symbols on his skin brightened as he stood. No holding back, he asked. Vegeta smirked. As if you could hurt me with those parlor tricks. Goku matched his smirk. Don't say I didn't warn you. They launched at each other simultaneously. Vegeta opened with a flurry of punches that would have pulverized mountains. Goku dodged most but caught the last one directly in the face, a solid hit that should have sent him flying. Instead, Vegeta found his fist passing through an afterimage as Goku shifted slightly outside normal spacetime. That's cheating, Vegeta growled. Goku reappeared behind him. You said no holding back. The fight escalated quickly. Vegeta pushed his God Ki to its limits, combining raw power with technical precision. Goku responded with minimal angel energy, focusing on control rather than overwhelming force. As they clashed, Goku realized what Vegeta was doing, providing a controlled environment for him to test his powers against a powerful opponent who wouldn't break. Every time angel energy flared too strongly, Vegeta would counter with precise God Ki that neutralized the effect without causing collateral damage. It was working. Goku found himself able to channel specific abilities intentionally rather than reactively, slowing time to dodge, accelerating it to attack, bending space to redirect Vegeta's energy blasts harmlessly into the sky. An hour into their spar, both were breathing hard. The mountain remained standing, though somewhat worse for wear. Vegeta had a cut above his eye and scorch marks on his armor. Goku's GI was torn in several places. Not bad, Vegeta admitted, powering down. You didn't destroy the planet. Goku let his aura fade as well. Thanks to you. Don't get sentimental. But Vegeta's usual bite was missing. You need regular combat training to maintain control. Your body knows what to do in a fight better than your brain does in meditation. You're right. Goku's shoulders relaxed for the first time in days. I've been approaching this all wrong, trying to suppress the power instead of working with it. Obviously. Vegeta rolled his eyes. Now, are you done feeling sorry for yourself? Your family needs you, and we have a megalomaniacal angel to deal with. Before Goku could answer, the sky darkened suddenly. Not the localized effect of his powers, but a worldwide phenomenon. Both Saiyans tensed, recognizing the signature energy. Right on cue, Vegeta muttered. A massive portal opened directly above them, far larger than any previous tear. Through it emerged not void walkers but a procession of familiar figures, gods of destruction from across the multiverse, each radiating deadly intent. Beerus led them, his expression uncharacteristically serious. Son Goku, he called down. By unanimous decree of the Council of Destruction, you have been deemed an existential threat to cosmic stability. Goku stepped forward. Beerus, what's going on? I thought you were on our side. There are no sides in this, Beerus replied coldly. Only necessity. The power you hold must be contained before Aeon can claim it. Contained how? Vegeta demanded, stepping protectively in front of Goku. Belmod, the clown-faced god of destruction from Universe 11, smiled thinly. Since you ask, destroyed. The gods descended like avenging furies, each targeting Goku with their most devastating techniques. Hakai energy, pure destruction, filled the air as multiple erasure attacks converged on his position. Vegeta didn't hesitate. He launched himself at Beerus, trying to create an opening. Run, Kakarot. But Goku stood his ground. As the Hakai energy approached, time seemed to slow. The angel knowledge within him provided the answer. Hakai wasn't absolute against angel energy. They were opposing forces, creation versus destruction. Goku raised his hands, palms outward. The symbols on his skin blazed with light as he channeled the full depth of his angel powers for the first time since battling Aeon. Celestial barrier, he intoned. A dome of pure white light formed around him and Vegeta. When the Hakai energy struck it, the attacks didn't break through, they were absorbed, their destructive essence converted to neutral energy that strengthened the barrier. The gods of destruction faltered, clearly not expecting resistance. Impossible, Kampa sputtered. Nothing stops Hakai. Angel power does, Goku replied, his voice resonating with authority that wasn't entirely his own. You should know that, Lord Kampa. Beerus narrowed his eyes. So the rumors are true. You've achieved synthesis with the angel essence. I don't want to fight you, Goku said, maintaining the barrier. Any of you. But I won't let you destroy me before I have a chance to fix this. There is nothing to fix, L'Quire, the fox-like god from Universe 8, declared. Your existence in this state upsets the cosmic balance. The longer you remain as the vessel, the greater Aeon's power grows. That was new information. Goku exchanged glances with Vegeta, who looked equally surprised. Explain, Goku demanded. The gods of destruction shared uneasy looks. Finally, Beerus sighed. The Grand Minister has discovered that Aeon's prison and the Angel Network are connected. When the powers transferred to you, it created a vulnerability he's exploiting. Every time you use these abilities, the connection strengthens. So I'm helping him? Goku asked, horrified. Not intentionally, Beerus conceded. But yes. Your existence in this state is like a beacon to him, a path back to our reality. Vegeta scoffed. Convenient excuse for an assassination. It's the truth, Beerus insisted. Ask your angel memories if you don't believe me. Goku closed his eyes, searching through the knowledge inside him. Most information about Aeon remained blocked, but he found fragmented memories confirming Beerus's claim. The original sealing ritual had used the combined power of 11 angels to create a prison outside normal spacetime, linked to their collective essence. He's right, Goku admitted. But killing me won't solve the problem. The powers would just scatter again, maybe to multiple hosts that would be even harder to track down. The gods of destruction hesitated, clearly having not considered this possibility. There must be another solution, Goku continued. A way to return these powers to their rightful owners without releasing Aeon. If such a method exists, we don't know it, Belmod said impatiently. And we can't risk waiting while you figure it out. The multiverse is already showing signs of instability. As if to emphasize his point, the sky above them rippled strangely, colors shifting, stars momentarily visible in daylight before vanishing again. One chance, Beerus suddenly declared. I'll give you one chance to prove you can control these powers well enough to find a solution. Lord Beerus, the other gods protested. Beerus silenced them with a glare. I've known Goku longer than any of you. If anyone can turn this situation around, it's him. I won't disappoint you, Goku promised. See that you don't. Beerus crossed his arms. You have 3 days. After that, we return, with Zeno's blessing for your elimination. The threat hung in the air like a physical weight. Zeno, the Omni King, could erase entire universes with a thought. If he declared Goku a threat, there would be nowhere to hide. 3 days, Goku agreed. That's all I need. The gods of destruction retreated reluctantly, vanishing back through their portal. Only Beerus remained behind. I'm taking a massive risk for you, he told Goku. Don't waste it. Thank you, Goku said sincerely. I know we haven't always seen eye to eye, but, save it, Beerus interrupted. Just fix this mess. He glanced at Vegeta. Keep him focused. Vegeta nodded once. Count on it. After Beerus departed, Vegeta turned to Goku. Well? What's the plan? first, I need to see Whis, Goku decided. If anyone knows how to reverse this, it's him. And if he doesn't? Goku's expression hardened. Then I'll find Aeon myself. Before he finds me. They headed directly to Capsule Corporation, where Bulma had set up a command center monitoring dimensional anomalies worldwide. The place was bustling with activity, scientists analyzing data, Z-fighters patrolling the grounds, Whis in deep conversation with Bulma over a holographic display of the planet. Everyone stopped when Goku entered. The symbols on his skin, now permanently visible, drew concerned stares. Chi-Chi rushed forward, relief and worry battling on her face. Goku. Where have you been? We were so worried. Sorry, Chi-Chi, Goku said, embracing her carefully. I needed some time to get things under control. She pulled back, studying him. And did you? Getting there. He managed a smile. Vegeta helped. Humph, was Vegeta's only acknowledgement as he moved to Bulma's side. Whis approached, looking diminished without his usual angelic aura but still carrying himself with dignity. I sense a change in you, Goku. You've begun integrating the angel essence rather than fighting it. Had to, Goku replied. The gods of destruction just tried to erase me. This announcement caused an uproar among the gathered allies. Bulma demanded details, which Vegeta provided while Goku pulled Whis aside. Is it true? Goku asked quietly. Am I helping Aeon escape every time I use these powers? Whis nodded grimly. I suspected as much, but lacked confirmation until now. Aeon's prison exists in a dimension adjacent to the angel realm. When all angel powers transferred to you, it created a bridge, one he's been trying to cross since the moment of transfer. So what do I do? I can't just not use these powers, especially with threats coming from all sides. No, Whis agreed. But you can use them more, judiciously. And we must find a way to return the powers to their rightful bearers before Aeon completes his escape. The gods of destruction gave me 3 days. Then we have no time to waste. Whis gestured to the holographic display. Bulma has been tracking dimensional disturbances. They're increasing in frequency and intensity, Aeon's influence growing stronger. The display showed dozens of hotspots around the planet where reality had briefly thinned or warped. Most had stabilized, but new ones appeared hourly. But that's not the worst of it, Whis continued. Time distortions have begun affecting populated areas. Footage appeared showing city streets where people moved at different speeds, some frozen in place, others accelerated to blurs. In another location, buildings aged decades in minutes, crumbling to dust while others reversed to previous states. It's getting worse, Bulma added, joining them. And it's not just Earth. We're getting reports from New Namek, Yardrat, even the sacred world of the Kais. All connected to me? Goku asked, though he already knew the answer. Whis nodded. The Angel Network maintained temporal stability across realities. Without it, time itself is becoming unstable, particularly in places you've visited or have connections to. Gohan stepped forward, looking worried. Dad, Pan was caught in one of these distortions yesterday. She aged 3 years in seconds before it reversed. Is she okay? Goku asked, alarmed. She's fine now, but scared. Gohan's expression was grave. We all are. The weight of responsibility pressed down on Goku like never before. This wasn't a threat he could simply fight, he was the threat, or at least the catalyst for it. There has to be a solution, he insisted, turning back to Whis. Some way to return these powers safely. Something flickered in Whis's eyes, hesitation. There might be a way, he said slowly. But it's not without risk. What is it? You could attempt to transfer portions of the power back to individual angels, starting with me. A controlled release rather than all at once. Is that even possible? Bulma asked. In theory, Whis replied. The angel essence recognizes its original vessels. With proper focus, Goku might be able to re-establish that connection. Hope surged through Goku. Let's try it right now. Wait, Piccolo interrupted, having listened silently until now. What's the risk you mentioned? Whis' expression grew somber. If the transfer fails, it could create a backlash, releasing raw angel energy into the environment. The consequences would be unpredictable. Meaning catastrophic, Piccolo translated flatly. Most likely, Whis admitted. Goku considered this. But if it works, if I can return even part of the power to you, would that weaken Aeon's connection to me? Yes, Whis said. Each successful transfer would diminish the bridge he's using. Then we have to try. Goku's decision was made. What do I do? Whis instructed Goku to sit cross-legged on the floor. He sat opposite him, their knees almost touching. Everyone else backed away, giving them space while remaining close enough to intervene if needed. Close your eyes, Whis guided. Picture the angel essence within you as a vast ocean of light. Find the currents that resonate with my signature. Goku complied, diving into his inner landscape. The angel power appeared as Whis described, an endless sea of luminous energy, swirling with currents and eddies. Each current had a different frequency, a different feel that he somehow recognized as belonging to specific angels. He found Whis' signature, a calm, steady flow of cerulean energy. Carefully, he gathered it, separating it from the whole without disrupting the balance. I found it, he murmured. Now what? Form a connection between us, Whis instructed. Visualize a bridge of light. Goku extended his awareness, creating a glowing pathway between himself and Whis. As soon as it formed, he felt resistance, not from Whis, but from somewhere else, as if a third party were trying to intercept the transfer. Something's interfering, Goku said, his brow furrowing with concentration. Aeon, Whis confirmed, his voice tight. He's attempting to claim the power for himself. You must override his influence. Goku pushed harder, strengthening the connection. The resistance grew, dark tendrils trying to corrupt the bridge of light. Sweat beaded on his forehead as he fought against Aeon's interference. It's not working, he grunted. He's too strong. Focus on me, Whis urged. Our connection predates his interference. Goku thought back to his training with Whis, the countless hours spent under his tutelage, the bond of teacher and student that had transformed him from a powerful mortal to someone who could touch divinity. That genuine connection formed a new pathway, one Aeon couldn't easily corrupt. Now! Whis commanded. With a tremendous mental push, Goku sent a portion of the angel essence along their bond. The energy flowed from him like a river breaking through a dam, rushing toward its original owner. Pain lanced through Goku's body as the power tore free. The symbols on his skin flared blindingly bright. Around them, reality fluctuated wildly, objects levitating, time speeding up and slowing down, the very air becoming visible as patterns of energy. Whis gasped as the power entered him. His body glowed from within, his white hair lifting in an unfelt breeze. For a moment, he looked like his former self, radiant and otherworldly. Then everything went wrong. A shadow passed through their connection, Aeon's influence, riding the transfer. Whis screamed as corruption touched the returning power, tainting it with darkness. The light around him turned sickly purple. Sever the connection. Piccolo shouted. He's being corrupted. But Goku couldn't break free. The transfer had created a feedback loop, binding them together. If he severed it now, the backlash could destroy them both. Whis, despite his pain, maintained enough clarity to act. With a gesture that carried echoes of his former grace, he redirected the corrupted energy, not back to Goku, but into a complex pattern in the air between them. What are you doing? Goku gasped. Saving everyone, Whis managed through gritted teeth. The pattern crystallized into a sphere of containment, a miniature prison that captured the corrupted essence. With his remaining strength, Whis compressed it until it imploded with a thunderclap of displaced air. The connection broke. Goku collapsed backward, drained but intact. Whis fell forward onto his hands, breathing heavily. When he looked up, his appearance had changed. A faint blue aura surrounded him, and a portion of his staff had materialized in his hand, just the top third, but glowing with genuine angel energy. It worked, Whis said weakly. Partially. Are you okay? Bulma asked, rushing to check on him. I will be. Whis sat back up with effort. I recovered approximately 20% of my original power, enough to perform basic functions but not my full capabilities. And Aeon? Vegeta demanded. Was unable to claim the power, thanks to Whis's quick thinking, Goku answered, sitting up slowly. But he's aware of what we tried. He'll be prepared next time. At least we know it's possible, Gohan said optimistically. You can return the powers. At a cost, Piccolo noted, nodding toward Goku. Everyone looked at Goku, who had gone pale. The transfer had taken more out of him than he let on. Some of the symbols on his skin had faded, while others had darkened. His life force felt diminished somehow, as if the process had consumed more than just angel energy. I'll be fine, Goku insisted, though he accepted Gohan's help standing up. What matters is we have a way forward. But not a complete solution, Whis cautioned. At this rate, transferring all the power would take dozens of attempts, each riskier than the last as Aeon grows stronger. And we don't know where the other angels are or if they're in condition to receive their powers. Then we need more information, Bulma concluded. About the angels, about Aeon, about this whole situation. Whis's expression brightened. Actually, my partial restoration gives us an opportunity. I can now access the celestial archives, though not directly visit them as I once could. Celestial archives? Krillin asked. The repository of all angel knowledge, Whis explained. Including, I suspect, information about Aeon and the original sealing that has been hidden from us. Can you bring this archive here? Bulma asked. Whis shook his head. No, but I can create a projection, a way for us to view the information without physically traveling there. He raised his fragmentary staff, which glowed in response. A circular window appeared in the air, showing what looked like an infinite library, shelves stretching in all directions, filled with glowing tablets rather than books. Wow, Goku breathed. That's a lot of reading. Indeed. Whis manipulated his staff, navigating through the ethereal library. Fortunately, I know exactly what we're looking for. The view shifted rapidly, zooming through countless sections until it settled on a secluded area marked with warning symbols. A single pedestal stood there, holding a tablet that pulsed with uneasy light. The Aeon Codex, Whis said reverently. The complete record of the first conflict and Aeon's imprisonment. He reached through the portal with his staff, touching the tablet. It resisted momentarily before relenting, its contents flowing into the projection space before them. Ancient symbols appeared, rearranging themselves into languages the group could understand. Images formed, the early multiverse, 12 radiant beings shaping reality, and one who stood apart from the others. Aeon. Even as a mere projection, his presence was commanding. He appeared similar to other angels but with notable differences, 12 wings instead of the usual 2, eyes that contained swirling galaxies, and an aura that shifted between all colors simultaneously. He was the most powerful of us, Whis narrated as the images played out. The first angel, created as the template for all others. While we were made to serve specific functions, Aeon was given the gift of true creativity, the ability to imagine what had never existed and bring it into being. The projection showed Aeon creating wonders, planets with impossible geometries, life forms of staggering diversity, even small pocket universes with unique physical laws. For eons, he served faithfully, Whis continued. But gradually, he began to question. The images shifted to show Aeon observing mortal worlds, watching suffering, conflict, death. His expression grew troubled, then resolute. He believed the multiverse was fundamentally flawed, Whis explained. That allowing mortals free will inevitably led to chaos and pain. He proposed a solution to the Omni-Kings, a complete redesign of reality, one where harmony would be enforced rather than merely encouraged. Sounds more like a prison than paradise, Vegeta commented. Precisely why the Omni-Kings rejected his proposal, Whis agreed. They valued diversity and unpredictability, even with its inherent risks. The projection showed Aeon's growing frustration, his attempts to convince the other angels of his vision, their ultimate rejection of his ideas. When diplomacy failed, he turned to more direct methods, Whis said grimly. The images turned darker, Aeon secretly modifying creations, introducing subtle changes to reality's framework, working toward his vision despite being forbidden from doing so. When the Omni-Kings discovered his actions, they ordered him to stop. He refused. Whis's voice had grown soft. What followed was the first conflict, the only time angels have ever fought against one another. The projection erupted into scenes of cosmic battle, Aeon against his 11 siblings, powers beyond comprehension clashing across multiple dimensions. Entire galaxies were caught in the crossfire, blinking out of existence as collateral damage. In the end, he was too powerful to destroy, Whis said. So we created a special prison, a void between dimensions where time and space had no meaning. All 12 angels contributed to its construction, creating a seal that could only be broken if all 12 powers were reunited. The final image showed Aeon being confined, his rage evident as reality closed around him. His last words became prophecy, Whis concluded. When the 12 powers converge on a star of mortal birth, the first shall return to remake the flawed creation. The projection faded, leaving the group in stunned silence. So that's why this is happening, Bulma finally said. When the angel powers transferred to Goku, star of mortal birth, it activated the prophecy. And now Aeon's trying to escape using me as a conduit, Goku added, the pieces finally fitting together. But there's something else, Whis said, manipulating his staff again. Something I didn't know until now. The projection reappeared, showing a different section of the archive. This tablet appeared newer, with annotations added periodically over millennia. The Grand Minister maintained a secret contingency plan, Whis explained as the information appeared. A ritual to safely redistribute angel powers if the prophecy ever activated. That's what we need. Goku exclaimed. Yes, but it's not simple. Whis enlarged a complex diagram showing a temple-like structure. The ritual must be performed at the nexus of dimensions, a place where all universes touch. Can we get there? Gohan asked. With my partial powers and Goku's abilities, yes, Whis replied. But the ritual requires specific preparations, and Aeon will certainly try to stop us once he realizes our plan. Let him try, Vegeta said confidently. We've faced worse odds before. Have we though? Piccolo asked dryly. Before they could discuss further, the building shook violently. Warning alarms blared throughout Capsule Corp as Bulma rushed to her monitoring equipment. Massive dimensional breach, she reported. Directly above us. They raced outside to find the sky torn open, a vast portal swirling with darkness and strange lights. Unlike previous tiers, this one didn't admit void walkers or shadow creatures, instead, figures in familiar robes descended. Supreme Kais. Gohan exclaimed in confusion. Indeed, Supreme Kais from multiple universes floated down from the portal, their expressions unnaturally blank. At their center was their leader, the Grand Supreme Kai, a figure rarely seen even by gods. Son Goku, the Grand Supreme Kai intoned, his voice oddly flat. The time of judgment has come. Something's wrong with them, Piccolo growled. Their energies are tainted. Whis raised his staff defensively. Aeon has influenced them. The Kais are naturally receptive to higher dimensional beings, he must have reached them through the weakening barriers. Can't we snap them out of it? Goku asked. Not easily, Whis replied. Their minds are linked directly to his will now. The Grand Supreme Kai raised his hands. The vessel must surrender the power willingly, or be destroyed to release it. Fat chance, Vegeta snapped, powering up to Super Saiyan Blue. Wait. Goku stepped forward. Let me talk to them first. They're not themselves, Dad, Gohan warned, also preparing for battle. I know, but I can't just fight the Supreme Kais, they're not evil, they're being controlled. Goku approached cautiously. Grand Kai, this isn't you. Aeon is using you. A flicker of awareness crossed the Kai's face. Goku. We. He clutched his head in pain. He's in our minds. Fight him. Goku urged. You're the Supreme Kais, guardians of creation itself. Don't let him turn you against your purpose. For a moment, it seemed to be working. Several of the Kais showed signs of internal struggle, their expressions clearing briefly. Then a new voice spoke through them in unison, deep, resonant, ancient. They cannot hear you, little star. Their minds belong to me now. Aeon, Goku recognized. Let them go. Why? They serve a greater purpose as my instruments than they ever did as the Omni King's puppets. The voice was almost reasonable, compassionate even. Just as you could, if you'd only see reason. Not interested in your perfect universe, thanks, Goku replied firmly. No. Then let me show you what I offer. The Grand Supreme Kai's eyes began to glow. From them projected a vision that enveloped everyone present, a stunning panorama of Aeon's imagined reality. It was beautiful. Worlds without suffering, species living in perfect harmony, a universe where even death was merely transition rather than ending. Knowledge freely available to all beings. Power distributed according to responsibility rather than ambition. This could be reality, Aeon's voice promised. No more senseless battles. No more innocent casualties. No more children orphaned by cosmic games. The vision shifted to show Goku's loved ones, Chi-Chi never aging, Gohan pursuing knowledge without threat, Goten growing up in a world without fear. The Z-Fighters together, their powers used for creation and exploration rather than desperate defense against endless threats. All I need is your help, Aeon continued. Together, we could remake everything. Better. Perfect. The vision was compelling, so compelling that Goku found himself momentarily swayed. Wasn't this what he'd always fought for? Peace. Safety for those he loved. Don't listen to him, Kakarot. Vegeta's voice cut through the illusion. There's no perfection without choice, even bad choices. Vegeta's words broke the spell. Goku saw the vision for what it truly was, a cage disguised as paradise. Sorry, Aeon, Goku said, his resolve returning. But life isn't supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be lived. The vision shattered. The controlled Kais expressions hardened into masks of rage. Then you leave me no choice, Aeon spoke through them. Take him. The Supreme Kais attacked as one, their divine powers amplified by Aeon's influence. Waves of creation energy, normally used to nurture life, had been twisted into weapons that corroded reality itself where they struck. Goku dodged and deflected but refused to counterattack with full force. These weren't enemies but victims. We need to break Aeon's control without hurting them, he shouted to the others. Easier said than done. Piccolo grunted, narrowly avoiding a blast that turned the ground where he'd stood into bubbling primordial soup. Whis studied the battle intently before calling out, the connection runs through the Grand Supreme Kai. Disrupt his concentration and the others might be freed. Vegeta immediately changed targets, charging toward the Grand Kai. 3 lesser Kais intercepted him, combining their powers to create a barrier he couldn't penetrate. I need an opening. Vegeta shouted. Goku nodded, understanding the plan. He focused a small amount of angel power, just enough to temporarily slow time around the defending Kais without affecting Vegeta. The Saiyan Prince seized his opportunity, breaking through the slowed barrier and delivering a precise strike to the Grand Kai's pressure point at the base of his neck. Not enough to seriously injure, but sufficient to disrupt his concentration. The effect was immediate. The Grand Kai's eyes rolled back, and the other Kais staggered as if suddenly released from restraints. Several collapsed entirely. "What happened?" the Supreme Kai of Universe 7 asked weakly, holding his head. "How did we get here?" "Aeon happened," Goku explained, helping him up. "He was controlling you." Horror dawned on the Kai's face. "I remember now. He came to us in our dreams, showing us visions, making promises. We thought we were acting of our own will." "He's growing stronger," Whis observed grimly. "Able to influence even the Supreme Kais across dimensional barriers." The Grand Supreme Kai regained consciousness, deeply shaken. "We have never faced such a threat." His mind, it was vast beyond comprehension. Ancient and patient and utterly convinced of its righteousness. "Did you see anything that could help us?" Bulma asked. The Grand Kai nodded slowly. "He fears the ritual you seek. I saw it in his thoughts when he believed I was fully under his control. The celestial temple at the nexus of dimensions, it is real, and it can undo what has happened." "Then that's where we need to go," Goku decided. "Right away. We'll hold council," the Grand Kai promised. "Prepare defenses against further influence. But you must hurry, he grows stronger by the hour." After the Kais departed to recover, preparations began immediately. Bulma gathered equipment for monitoring the ritual, while Whis used his partial powers to create protective talismans for everyone involved in the journey. "These won't stop Aeon directly," he explained, "but they'll prevent mental influence like what affected the Kais." "Who should go?" Gohan asked. "We can't leave Earth undefended." After discussion, they settled on a small team: Goku, Vegeta, Whis, Piccolo, and Gohan. Bulma would provide technical support through a dimensional communicator she developed. "The rest of you need to stay here," Goku told the other Z-fighters. "If Aeon sends more of his servants while we're gone, Earth will need protection." Krillin nodded. "We've got this covered. Just focus on your mission." As they prepared to depart, Chi-Chi pulled Goku aside. "Promise me you'll come back," she said, her eyes reflecting fear she rarely showed. "Not as some angel hybrid, but as my Goku." Goku embraced her gently. "I promise. When this is over, things will get back to normal." "Well, our kind of normal." She smiled despite her worry. "I'm holding you to that." The team gathered on Capsule Corp's lawn. Whis and Goku combined their powers, creating a dimensional pathway different from regular teleportation. "The nexus exists between universes," Whis explained. "Neither here nor there, but accessible from everywhere. Our combined powers should be sufficient to reach it." Goku and Whis extended their hands, energy flowing between them to create a swirling portal of silver-blue light. "This feels different than regular teleportation," Gohan observed. "Because we're not just changing locations," Whis replied. "We're moving between dimensions entirely." With a final nod to those staying behind, they stepped through the portal together. The journey was unlike anything they'd experienced before. They moved through layers of reality like passing through veils, glimpsing alternate timelines, parallel dimensions, even what appeared to be other multiverses entirely. When they finally emerged, they stood on a vast platform floating in an infinite void. Above, below, and around them stretched a cosmic tapestry, galaxies, universes, and dimensions visible as overlapping patterns of light and energy. At the center of the platform stood an ancient temple that seemed to shift and change as they watched, sometimes appearing as a pagoda, other times as a pyramid, occasionally as something that defied earthly architecture entirely. "The Celestial Temple," Whis breathed reverently. "I've only seen it in archives. What exactly is this place?" Piccolo asked, his eyes wide as he took in the impossible vista. The original creation point, Whis explained. Where the Omni Kings first brought reality into existence. All dimensions connect here. They approached the temple cautiously. Its entrance rearranged itself as they neared, forming a doorway that would accommodate their size and shape. Inside was a single vast chamber. 12 pedestals arranged in a perfect circle surrounded a central dais. Each pedestal bore ancient inscriptions and symbols matching those on Goku's skin. This is it, Whis confirmed. The ritual chamber. So what exactly happens here? Vegeta asked, eyeing the pedestals suspiciously. Whis studied the inscriptions. According to this, Goku must stand at the center. From there, he can safely release the angel powers to their original owners, or to new vessels if the originals are unavailable. But the original angels aren't here, Gohan pointed out. They don't need to be physically present, Whis explained. The Nexus connects to all points in the multiverse. The ritual will guide the powers to wherever their rightful owners are. An Aeon's power? Piccolo asked. Whis's expression darkened. That's the complicated part. His essence is still technically part of the angel network, it's how he's been able to interfere. The ritual will try to return his power as well. To him? Goku asked alarmed. To where he is, Whis confirmed. Which could potentially complete his escape. Then we can't do the ritual at all, Gohan concluded. No, we just need to modify it. Whis examined the central dais more closely. These controls allow for adjustments, redirecting specific power signatures. With proper calibration, we could send Aeon's portion to a neutral vessel or containment field. How long will that take? Vegeta demanded. Several hours, at least, Whis admitted. These systems are incredibly complex. Well, get started, Vegeta said. We'll secure the perimeter. As Whis began working on the modifications, the others established a defensive position around the temple. Piccolo and Gohan patrolled the outer platform while Goku and Vegeta remained closer to the ritual chamber. You think Aeon knows we're here? Goku asked quietly. Vegeta snorted. Count on it. The question isn't if he'll attack, but when. They didn't have to wait long for an answer. Within an hour, the void around them began to ripple unnaturally. Points of darkness appeared, expanding into tears in reality. Here they come, Piccolo warned through their communicators. And it's not just void walkers this time. Through the portals emerged an army of twisted creatures, some resembling corrupted angels with broken halos and tattered wings, others like shadowy versions of gods of destruction, still others defying description entirely. Aeon's collection, Whis explained grimly when informed. Beings he corrupted or created during his original rebellion. How much longer on those modifications? Vegeta demanded. Not nearly enough time, Whis replied tensely. I've barely begun calibrating the containment parameters. Goku made a quick decision. Then we hold them off. No matter what it takes. The battle erupted across the Nexus platform. Gohan and Piccolo engaged the outer wave of attackers, while Goku and Vegeta defended the temple entrance directly. For once, Goku didn't hold back his angel powers. In this place, outside normal reality, the risk of collateral damage was minimal. He unleashed abilities he'd only begun to understand, freezing enemies in time, unraveling their very existence, redirecting their attacks back through dimensional loops. Vegeta fought with equal ferocity, his God Ki blazing as he demolished wave after wave of corrupted entities. Despite being technically outclassed by the angelic opponents, his battle experience and sheer determination made him a devastating force. They keep coming. Gohan called through the communicator, his voice strained. For every one we defeat, 2 more appear. Inside the temple, Whis worked frantically on the ritual modifications. I need more time. Goku and Vegeta exchanged glances, reaching a silent agreement. They would buy that time, whatever the cost. Gohan, Piccolo, fall back to the temple. Goku ordered. Vegeta and I will handle the perimeter. But Dad, do it. Goku's tone left no room for argument. As Gohan and Piccolo retreated to reinforce the temple directly, Goku and Vegeta moved outward to stem the tide of attackers. Like old times, Vegeta remarked with a grim smile. Back to back against impossible odds. Wouldn't have it any other way, Goku replied, dropping into a fighting stance. They launched themselves at the horde, 2 warriors against an army. Goku's angel powers created devastation on a cosmic scale, while Vegeta's precision and tactical genius ensured not a single enemy breached their defensive line. But even they had limits. After what felt like hours of non-stop combat, both Saiyans showed signs of fatigue. Vegeta's armor was shattered in multiple places, blood flowing from several wounds. Goku's GI was in tatters, and maintaining his angel abilities was clearly taking a toll, the symbols on his skin flickering erratically. How much longer, Whis? Vegeta shouted into his communicator as he blasted 3 attackers simultaneously. Almost there. Whis replied. The containment field is prepared. I just need to finalize the separation parameters for Aeon's essence. A sudden silence fell across the battlefield. The attacking horde paused, then parted to form a path. Through it walked a figure Goku recognized immediately from the visions, Aeon, or at least a more substantial projection of him than before. He appeared as a tall, elegant being with features reminiscent of other angels but more refined, more perfect. 12 wings of shadow and light extended from his back. His eyes contained swirling galaxies, and his expression combined benevolence with absolute certainty. Impressive defense, Aeon commented, his voice resonating across multiple frequencies simultaneously. But ultimately futile. We're just getting started, Goku replied, though he was breathing heavily. Aeon smiled sadly. You fought admirably, mortal star. But you're fighting the wrong enemy. I don't seek destruction, only correction. Correction? Vegeta spat. You want to remake reality in your image. In a better image, Aeon corrected gently. One free from the flaws that cause such unnecessary suffering. Who are you to decide what's a flaw? Goku challenged. Someone who has witnessed the entirety of creation, Aeon replied. Someone who has seen the same patterns repeat endlessly across countless worlds and timelines. Freedom leads to conflict. Conflict leads to suffering. Suffering leads to cruelty. An inescapable cycle, unless the system itself is redesigned. Despite his exhaustion, Goku found himself almost understanding Aeon's perspective. The angel memories within him showed eons of history, countless civilizations rising and falling in patterns of violence and pain alongside moments of beauty and transcendence. There's another way to see it, Goku said. Without freedom to make mistakes, there's no real growth. No real joy. A comforting fiction, Aeon dismissed. But I haven't come to debate philosophy. I've come to offer you one last choice. He gestured, and reality rippled around them. Suddenly, floating in containment fields behind Aeon, appeared Chi-Chi, Goten, Bulma, and Trunks. Your family, Aeon said simply. Taken from Earth while you've been fighting here. Let them go. Goku demanded, his power flaring with his anger. I will, Aeon promised. Once you've made your choice. Surrender the angel powers to me willingly, and they'll be returned unharmed. Continue this pointless resistance, and I cannot guarantee their safety when reality begins to unravel. Vegeta's rage was incandescent. You coward. Using hostages instead of facing us directly. Not cowardice, efficiency, Aeon corrected. I have waited eons for this moment. I will use whatever means necessary to complete my work. Goku's mind raced. He couldn't risk his family, but surrendering the powers to Aeon would doom the entire multiverse to his perfect vision. Whis, he whispered into his communicator. Status? Ready, came the quiet reply. But we need you at the central dais to begin the ritual. Can the ritual free them? Goku asked, nodding toward the hostages. A pause. Possibly. The energy release would disrupt Aeon's hold on this dimension. It was enough. Goku had made tougher gambles before. I've made my decision, he announced to Aeon. And, the ancient angel prompted. I want to see my family first. Prove they're really here, not illusions. Aeon considered this, then nodded. The containment fields moved closer. Chi-Chi looked terrified but defiant. Goten appeared confused and angry. Bulma was clearly analyzing the situation, while Trunks looked ready to fight despite his restraints. Mom! Goku called. Are you okay? Goku. Chi-Chi responded. Don't worry about us. Whatever he wants, don't give it to him. That confirmed it, these were really his loved ones, not constructs. The Chi-Chi he knew would always put the greater good above herself. I'll handle this, Goku promised. Then, to Aeon, release them first. Then I'll cooperate. You're not in a position to negotiate, Aeon replied coldly. Sure I am. Goku smiled suddenly. Because you can't take these powers by force. You need me to surrender them willingly. Otherwise, you would have already. Aeon's expression tightened, the first crack in his perfect composure. Very well. A gesture of good faith. He released Chi-Chi from her containment field. She immediately ran to Goku's side. The rest, Goku insisted. After you begin the transfer, Aeon countered. I'm not a fool. It was the best deal he was likely to get. Goku nodded to Vegeta, who moved protectively in front of Chi-Chi. Keep her safe, Goku said quietly. What are you planning, Kakarot? Vegeta asked suspiciously. Trust me. Goku turned to Aeon. I need to go inside the temple. The transfer has to happen at the center of the nexus. Aeon nodded. Lead the way. But remember, any tricks, and your family suffers. They proceeded into the temple, where Gohan and Piccolo stood guard over Whis at the central altar. Both looked shocked at the sight of the hostages but took their cues from Goku's subtle head shake. Don't act yet. Stand on the central dais, Whis instructed, his voice carefully neutral. I will guide the process. Goku stepped onto the platform. The symbols on his skin immediately responded to the temple's energy, glowing in harmony with the pedestals around the room. Now, Aeon commanded, begin the transfer. Goku closed his eyes, connecting to the angel essence within him. The process Whis had prepared was clear in his mind, not a single transfer to Aeon, but a complex redistribution to all original angel vessels, with Aeon's portion directed to the special containment field. I'm ready, Goku said. Aeon moved closer, his 12 wings extending in anticipation. At last, he whispered, the work of eternity can be completed. Goku began channeling the angel powers into the ritual structure. Energy flowed from him into the dais, then spread to the surrounding pedestals. Each lit up in sequence, creating a circuit of light around the chamber. Yes, Aeon breathed, his form becoming more substantial as the energy filled the room. What he couldn't see was the subtle manipulation Whis was performing at the control altar, directing the flow according to their modified plan rather than toward Aeon himself. The transfer reached its midpoint. Goku felt lighter as portions of the angel essence left him, returning to their original vessels across the multiverse. In the void beyond the temple, specks of light appeared, angels regaining their powers, their presences flickering back into the cosmic awareness. Aeon noticed too late. What is this? He demanded, suddenly alarmed. The power, it's not coming to me. Now. Goku shouted. Everything happened at once. Piccolo and Gohan launched themselves at the containment fields, freeing Goten, Trunks, and Bulma. Vegeta rushed Chi-Chi toward the temple exit. Whis activated the final sequence, creating a separate containment field specifically tuned to Aeon's essence. No! Aeon roared, his perfect composure shattering completely. He lunged toward the central dais, wings spread wide. Stop the ritual. But it was too late. The transfer had reached critical momentum, angels across the multiverse were reconnecting to their powers, strengthening the original network that had once imprisoned Aeon. In desperation, Aeon grabbed Goku physically, trying to interrupt the energy flow. I will not be denied again, he snarled, his beautiful face contorting with rage. The direct contact created an unexpected effect. Instead of stopping the ritual, it established a direct connection between them, Goku's remaining angel powers flowing into Aeon unfiltered. Pain seared through Goku as Aeon forcibly drew power from him. The symbols on his skin began to fade, transferring to Aeon's form instead. The ancient angel grew more substantial by the second, his 12 wings spreading wider, his presence becoming overwhelming. Yes! Aeon exulted. At last! Vegeta saw what was happening and changed direction, charging back toward the central dais. Kakarot. Aeon casually swatted him away with one wing, sending him crashing into a temple wall. Gohan and Piccolo met similar fates when they attempted to intervene. Dad! Gohan shouted, struggling to rise from the rubble. Stay back! Goku managed through gritted teeth. Despite the pain, his mind was racing. Aeon's direct connection had created an opportunity, the link worked both ways. Instead of resisting the drain, Goku reversed it. He delved into Aeon's essence, seeking not power but knowledge, specifically, the secrets of the original prison that had held him for eons. The information flooded into him, complex dimensional mathematics, divine sealing techniques, and most importantly, Aeon's own weakness. The first angel's prison had been constructed partially from his own power, turned back upon itself. With the last of his strength, Goku implemented what he'd learned. He stopped fighting Aeon's pull entirely, instead channeling every remaining drop of angel essence into the ancient being, but altered, encoded with the prison structure. Aeon realized the trap too late. The power he was absorbing contained the very pattern of his original imprisonment. His expression shifted from triumph to horror. What have you done? He gasped as the energy within him began to turn inward. Giving you what you wanted, Goku replied, his voice steady despite his draining strength. All the power. Every last drop. Aeon's form began to warp as the power collapsed in on itself, creating a dimensional pocket that folded space around him. This isn't over, he raged, his voice distorting. I am eternal. I am, his words cut off as reality closed around him like a fist. There was a tremendous implosion of energy, and where Aeon had stood remained only a small crystalline sphere, a perfect prison, constructed from his own power. The temple shook violently as the ritual completed. The last of the angel essence left Goku, flowing out to its rightful owners across the multiverse. The symbols on his skin faded entirely, leaving him fully mortal once more. He collapsed to his knees, utterly drained. His family and friends rushed to his side. Dad! Gohan supported him as he swayed. Goku! Chi-Chi's voice was thick with worry. "I'm okay," Goku mumbled, though he felt anything but. Every cell in his body ached with the absence of power he'd grown accustomed to. Did it work? Is everyone safe? Whis approached, his form now fully restored to its angelic glory. It worked perfectly. The angel network is restored. My siblings across the multiverse have regained their powers. He gestured to the crystal sphere where Aeon had been. And he is contained, more securely than before. What happens to that? Vegeta asked, eyeing the sphere suspiciously. It will be taken to the Omni Kings, Whis replied. They will decide its ultimate fate. Goku struggled to stand, leaning heavily on Gohan. Can we go home now? I'm starving. Despite everything, everyone laughed, the tension breaking at last. It was such a Goku thing to say after saving the multiverse. Yes, Whis smiled. Let's go home. As they prepared to depart the Nexus, Goku took one last look at the temple. For a brief moment, he felt a pang of loss, not for the power itself, but for the connection to something larger, the vast perspective he'd briefly shared. Then Chi-Chi took his hand, and he knew he'd made the right choice. Some powers weren't meant for mortals. But love? That was a power worth keeping. The journey back was much easier with Whis fully restored. He created a smooth pathway through dimensions that deposited them directly on Capsule Corporation's lawn, where the rest of the Z-Fighters waited anxiously. News of their success spread quickly. The gods of destruction, no longer bent on Goku's elimination, sent messages of grudging thanks. The Supreme Kais, fully recovered from Aeon's influence, offered blessings and promises of future support. Life gradually returned to normal, or as normal as it ever got for Earth's greatest defenders. The dimensional disturbances ceased. Time stabilized across realities. The multiverse settled back into its familiar rhythm of controlled chaos and unexpected beauty. Goku found the transition back to purely Saiyan power surprisingly difficult. He'd grown accustomed to solving problems with angel abilities, now he had to rely again on his wits, strength, and friends. But not everything returned to exactly as it was before. The experience had changed him in subtle ways. Sometimes, when meditating deeply, he could still access fragments of the cosmic awareness he'd briefly possessed, echoes of angel memories that offered glimpses of greater truths. And the symbols, though no longer visible on his skin, occasionally manifested during moments of intense emotion or concentration, a reminder that he had touched divinity and carried it, however briefly. One evening, a month after their return, Goku sat on the roof of his home watching the stars. Vegeta joined him silently, arms crossed in his typical pose. "Miss it?" Vegeta asked without preamble. Goku didn't pretend to misunderstand. Sometimes. Not the responsibility, but the perspective. Seeing everything connected, understanding how it all fits together. Humph. Vegeta sat beside him. You did the right thing, giving it up. Yeah. Goku glanced at his rival. That almost sounds like a compliment. Don't get used to it. But there was no real bite in Vegeta's tone. Besides, you'd have been an annoying god. Always wanting to spar with mortals instead of doing your divine duties. Goku laughed. Probably true. They sat in companionable silence for a while, watching the night sky. You know, Goku said eventually, I learned something from all this. What's that? Power isn't just about how hard you can hit or what abilities you have. It's about choices. Aeon had all that power, all that knowledge, but he chose wrong. He couldn't see the value in imperfection. Vegeta considered this. Perhaps that's the difference between gods and mortals worth remembering. We live with our flaws. They try to eliminate them. Yeah. Goku smiled. And I wouldn't trade our messy, imperfect lives for all the power in the multiverse. A shooting star blazed across the sky, and for just a moment, Goku's eyes reflected not just its light but something deeper, a brief flicker of divine insight, a connection to something beyond mortal understanding. Then it passed, leaving just a Saiyan warrior watching the stars with his friend, content with the power he had and the choices that remained his to make. The end. Thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video.